Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's episode 228 of the Audible Farm Podcast, and this episode is brought to you by the Fort Dodge Fine Arts Association. Fort Dodge Fine Arts Association believes that the arts should be accessible to everyone, and so do we. So go to www.fdfineartsassociation.org and check out everything they do. They support the fine arts in the Fort Dodge and surrounding areas. They are one of the biggest supporters of Audible Farm, so I want to say thank you very much to Fort Dodge Fine Arts Association, and be sure to check out their calendar on there as well. Lots of activities in Fort Dodge, and check out their podcast, FDT. We might have something to do with that. Maybe I'll talk about it a little more in the outro. This episode is Friendsgiving. Oh man, I thought about the idea of doing a Friendsgiving, of just bringing people together, sitting them at a table, and obviously no food, because I didn't think anyone wanted to listen to anybody like eating food. But yeah, so we did a Friendsgiving this year. Jeremy Ober, Clint Riedel, Scott Kirkhart, Jesse Wilson, and myself. Those are four people that are really big in my life as far as music playing is. So either people that are inspirations. I've played shows with all of them. They're all great singer-songwriters, and they're all great people in their own respects. So this is going to be a great episode. It's a little unruly in some spots, and yeah, I think you'll enjoy it one way or the other. So check this one out. It's Friendsgiving 2024.
It's the Audible Farm Podcast with your host, Peter Stockdale.
All right, well, I just want to welcome everyone to the very first Friendsgiving on Audible Farm.
Cheers.
Here.
Cheers.
This is the first time I've ever tried anything like this. Honestly, like, I don't know if you guys remember this. Probably nobody else does, but Snoop Dogg has a YouTube channel, obviously, or many or whatever. And one of them he would have just like people on. I think it was called like the G News or the GTV or something like that. And it was just like a bunch of people that would just come on there, and he'd interview them and talk to them like it was like a news segment or something, you know. But then he also had, like, on Thanksgiving, he'd bring a bunch of people in and have like a Thanksgiving episode, and everybody just be sitting around a table. And I was like, that's kind of fun. So that's kind of what we're going for here, all right?
We are.
Did he smoke a turkey?
Funny. But yeah, buddy. Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff.
Can I see those glasses? Oh, thanks, buddy.
There we go. Are those yours? Whose are they?
They're mine.
Are they really?
Jeremy was a bully earlier and took my glasses, Pete.
You look handsome in them, too.
Hey, kids, we need to get along. This is Thanksgiving. So.
It's always Ober.
Ooh, speaking of Thanksgiving fights, Pete, what's the worst Thanksgiving fight your family has been in? Food or political?
I don't think our family's ever done anything like that.
You've never thrown a cranberry at your sister?
No, like nobody really fights each other or yells at each other or anything like that.
You ever thrown a cranberry?
No. Well, maybe once or twice, but
I've got mashed potatoes to the face.
What about cranberries, like in a can or actual cranberries? Like that can-shaped thing? Yeah.
classic.
Never been a big fan of that.
No, me either. Anything that comes out in the shape of a can, I don't think you should eat it.
Yeah, I agree.
Delicious.
Well, I don't have any food here. There's no like big assortment of stuff because I basically just thought nobody wanted to eat.
We got turkey.
But everybody here's got some turkey, so bless you guys' soul. It is Thanksgiving after all. So I do want to go around here and say like this. This is basically the whole thought process. For the very first one of these was to bring a handful of people together that I knew, and it was just kind of like, let's get a few people. And I kind of rolled the idea past Kirkhart, like, do you think this is something anybody would enjoy, you know, or or like, what's the thoughts on this? And I kind of was like, all right, so who do I bring together? And it was kind of like, do I just bring together some random people and have them sit down and see what they can do, you know, or do I bring together like people I know that are buddies? Like, you guys all know each other pretty well, you know, we're all kind of friends. But I just wanted to say, like, you guys are basically the people that are responsible for me playing as much music around this area as I am, basically. You know, so I'm thankful to have you guys around here because, you know, without that, I probably, you know, might not even have this podcast. It definitely wouldn't have come back had you guys not, like, tried to convince me so much to bring it back. So I just wanted to say, for Thanksgiving, that's what I'm thankful for this episode for sure.
For you, buddy.
Absolutely.
Well, let's not forget, I mean, when we started playing out live, who was the guy always playing out live? And that gentleman right over there. So he inspired all of us, too. Even though he's younger than I am.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
Well, I mean,
he's 420 years old.
He just never ate. He ages well, you know.
He does age well.
Vampires don't.
It's all that clean living.
So this is how long ago this works. Like when I was in high school, I was in a band. We called ourselves Active Input, and we had, whatever, an email account. It was probably, at hotmail something, or whatever, one of those types of accounts, because I'm old. And so we had this email account, whatever, and Jeremy messaged us to open for like a show for him once, and we didn't have like a set together that would like work, so we didn't do it. But like that's how long ago. Like, I mean, you're only a couple years older than me.
I think I got
like,
a hold of him on MSN Messenger.
Oh my God!
I just saw you were online. So.
Were you dial up?
Yeah. Oh, we were dialed up for sure. Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, I mean, if you want to go down the line, it's basically like you've been. I mean, from a young age, we talked about it in like one of your early episodes that you were on the podcast. Like you've been playing music for like ever around this area, giving lessons, things like that. Always just kind of, as Scott said, just being a little bit of an inspiration for everybody around here.
For sure.
And
so we're thankful for you, Ober.
Well, thanks.
I didn't like him when I first met him. I'll say
true?
it out loud.
Why is that?
Okay, we got to hear the story.
Well, I told it earlier with Pete on one of our first podcasts together. I was like, man, I was just trying to break into the scene, and I walk into bars with my guitar, and I was like, hey, can I play? And they said, strangely enough, this dude from Fort Dodge says he's got a sore voice. Would you like to open? And I said, I'd love to. So I do my best, and I'm starting out, and this is in Havelock. And Jeremy Ober, for the first time, comes walking in, and he's listening while I'm already playing on my tiny little PA. And he's like, good job, what's your name? Wait, I can do that better. Good job. What's your name? And I said, hey, I'm Clint Riedel. I go by the Wright County Rambler. And he's like, cool. And so he gets on stage and he goes, hey, everybody, give it up for Clint Riedel, the Wright County Wrangler. And I was like, well, that guy, he just go home. So I listened and I was like, oh, he's really, really good. Yeah. But then I got to meet him because we shared Caleb Ferry as a drummer. And I was like, yeah, I'll give him a second chance just because I love you, Caleb. And turns out I love this man. He was at my wedding in it.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I was deathly ill, too.
Yeah.
I was crazy ill with no voice. And Shawn Minikis and Ron Lee King showed up and just fed me shots throughout the night.
I don't even remember that.
Every shot of whiskey would get me through like 2 songs, and then my voice would go away again. And they just kept on feeding me shots, which can only be sustainable for so long.
So you're telling me I saved your life?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You knocked a good hour and a half off my sets.
That's the only thing I had was about an hour at that time. I was just starting out.
Yeah.
I was like, you want to hear an hour? $50. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it works. It works. Yep. But yeah, I just realized I don't think we introduced anybody. So like way down there, Jeremy Ober, obviously.
Yeah.
We got Clint Riedel next. So like Clint was one of the first people I interviewed on the podcast that I had no idea who he was. Like Brad, of all people, contacted me and was like, you should interview this guy. Meet me at his place at this time. And I was like, okay. And then I showed up and Brad was like in the driveway and he's like, Clint lives here. And then he just drove away. That's basically, I was like, okay.
Yeah, I do remember.
So I like knocked on the door. I'm like, Clint, I guess, and interviewed you. But like you had a jam in Barnum. That was like one of the first times I kind of got out of my shell and started playing songs I didn't normally play or in an environment I didn't normally play in. So that was like, one of the things that kind of got me to be who the guitar player I am today. So that's, that's one of the things I'm thankful for there, definitely. So, yeah, Clint Riedel, definitely 100%.
Well, I'm thankful for the opportunity to just start that jam in Barnum. I miss it a lot because that's how all of us used to hang out.
Right. Yeah, well,
it's a Tuesday.
On the weekends,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, that's
and when I met Scott, I had no idea he's just a pocket drummer holding back. That's my most impressed part about you, buddy.
Really?
Yeah, when you get behind the drum. Yeah, we just played last Thursday for Jeremy's Jam at Eagles, and I was like, who's
I like
drumming?
playing drums. I just don't have my own drum set anymore, I mean, it's just...
I'm going to just move down the line. Scott, like, basically, you were one of the friendly faces. Like, you were always, like, so encouraging of basically, like, everything I always did. And I don't want to say, like, I'm shy, because I'm not, like, a shy person, or I'm not, like, 100% antisocial, because I have podcasts and whatever, but, like... I don't know. I'm not always like a super talkative. I'm not super boastful about everything or anything.
You talk all the time. What are you talking
Well,
about?
to you guys, but like you know just as well. I mean, Jesse knows the most. Like it's like break time. I'm out. I'm outside. It's just like I'll say hi to people that say hi to me on the way by.
Everybody,
and it's like,
people's different, right? Everybody does, no matter what.
But I don't know. You were one of the people when I was playing and I was unsure of myself. You were always like, "That was awesome. Get back up there and play more." You know, so. I don't know. That's one of the things, having people like you around in the scene. We talked about it in your episode, 5-6 episodes back, about how,
Yeah, we've been in it a long time.
Yeah, it's like you're just one of the nice guys out there,
Well, there's no point of being a dickhead. I mean,
it's free to be. I guess it's free to be nice.
It's free to be nice too, and everybody can just be kind to each other. And you know what? There's a lot of freaking talented people around this area, and you can learn so much from each other. Which makes us even better, right? I mean,
but the give back between Reforge and Broken Strings and
we got to give back. I mean, that's everybody.
Of course.
We took an idea and rambled with it, didn't we? I mean, that's kind of what we just did. Ober, with your Reforge deal, Broken Strings was the same way. It was just an idea, and then we do it.
But it's not for professional musicians by any means. Like our friend Owen. We could bring him up.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, going to Berkeley.
Yeah.
Well, he's definitely going to Berkeley.
I would think so.
He saw me at the jam on Thursday.
Was good for him.
Yeah.
I think he'll nail it.
He's like,
but I'm just, it's just, of course. It is what it is. I mean, why not be kind? It takes no more energy to be nice to somebody than it does to be a dick to somebody. So
yeah, I was like, I'm gonna start making reels and doing crazy stuff for the podcast. Ultimately, I put as much effort into it as I can without burning myself out and just call it good enough. But that's one of the only reels, like TikTok type things I've ever pulled out of any of the podcasts so far. Is you just being like, yeah, why not everybody just be nice to each other? It doesn't make any sense.
Story.
And it's like, yeah, it's true.
Makes the world go around.
Absolutely. Yep. So definitely thankful for people like that around because it's not everyone is like that. So it's it's nice to have the people like that around. So otherwise, Jesse, you're like one of the first people basically other than playing shows with Three Finger Betty that was just kind of like, I'm just started playing shows. We jammed together a couple times. Let's just kind of go out there and see what happens.
Right.
And
you played bass when we started jamming together.
Yeah. The first couple shows we played, I always brought a bass with. I had a bass amp there.
Yeah, because I started playing bass.
Yeah, because it's like, well, I mean, the whole method to the madness was like, it works for you and Brad. Clint and Brad. So it's
minimal.
like,
I've been watching. all y'all.
Yeah. So
stealing
it's like
everything I can from you.
You're doing great, buddy. You're doing great.
But it's like, why wouldn't it work for us? So we did that, but we figured out, after a while, like the electric and acoustic worked pretty good for us. And eventually most of the time now it's just duo acoustic,
Works good.
But you're like probably the person I play the most shows with. I have played shows with Clint, I've played a couple with Jeremy, and I've played a couple with Scott, but I'd say 90% of the shows I play with you. Yep. So it's definitely, it's nice to have somebody like that around that's willing to take you with on these shows and things like
from
that.
The bottom, buddy. You've been there ground zero, so
it's nice. That's what I like.
Let's keep it going.
Yeah,
if we ever need a full band, all we'd have to do is just ask our friends, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure they would be glad to hop in.
New Nashville.
Yeah.
With the night before Thanksgiving, everybody's playing somewhere.
Yeah.
And we're all borrowing musicians. Like I've got Dave Schmieder with me on Wednesday.
Yeah. Everybody reached out to his book,
like he plays with you and Jesse.
All right.
I reached out to Cole.
Is he booked too?
We can do a 3-piece.
Oh, do it, yeah.
Fine, I'll be by myself again here.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's just kind of what it is, though. I mean, there's only so many people who aren't the singer-songwriter people, because those are you four, that you kind of just have to go out there and be like, who's available on what nights if you don't have, like, a dedicated band, And even though some of you do have, like, a dedicated band, it's still like, sometimes they're doing other stuff, too, And it's not always easy to fill in all those schedules. But, luckily, nobody up here really takes it too personally,
We're all on the same team, I think.
Okay.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, it's just, you're playing somewhere else? All right. Just, or if somebody eventually doesn't play with you anymore, they just go play somewhere else and you find somebody else, and it just works out, It just always works out.
Or if it doesn't, we'll just go play alone.
Exactly.
Literally. I mean,
Yep.
Well, that's the beauty of...
we have to make money too, right? Yeah, right.
Yep.
I learned how to play just by myself at a very early age. Play with myself.
You can't
Play with yourself.
Gotta make the joke. Yeah. All right, very nice.
And I can't say bum fight.
And then Ober speaks up.
I mean, that makes me wonder. Like, so, I mean, we kind of talked a little bit about this, but like, I've basically said like, you guys are what I'm thankful for, you know, and people like you out there. It's not like nobody out there is nice, but it's not always a friendly environment out there, you know.
Sometimes it's not.
You know, it's a scary big world out there, and it's nice to have buddies with you. You know,
one thing
I'm glad you guys are around.
One thing we all did though, and we have the utmost respect for, and I know our elders also. I mean, you know, you got like Phil that used to play with the ski band and
Big Phil,
Gene
yeah.
and those guys. Man, they were some phenomenal musicians, and still are. You know, the ones that are with us.
Do you think they had an easier time playing because there wasn't the jukebox? The internet jukebox, I think, just killed everybody's opportunity.
Totally different time. I mean, you know, but I still think that you have to go out and beat the streets in order to. You're good. People are gonna notice you. I mean,
Jeremy drives down to Texas and says, "Give me a quarter."
well,
I always use that.
that's what it takes.
I
though.
stole that. I stole that line from Jeremy Ober. I said, "If you write it on the back of a $100 bill and stick it in Brad's pants, we'll play it all night." And it worked a couple of times.
Yeah,
It's not really Jeremy's sign or saying per se, but it works every now and then I correct myself and say the truth. If you can write it on nickel, I'll try really hard. I want you to have a good time, and I enjoy playing music.
So I want to go down the line here just as a conversation piece. What are you guys thankful for? I didn't prep you for any of this. I just wanted to spring it on you because I figured that would be the best way to go about doing it, was just like, what are you guys thankful for? Look who just showed up in the room.
We're sitting in a very badass bar.
Speaking of being
owned
badass,
by
that
this
was
badass woman.
You came in at the
definitely.
perfect time.
Yeah, you done.
You did.
We're gonna edit this in here. Here's a.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello.
Are you gonna sit down and join us for a little bit?
Actually, it's my turn to work. So
Oh, okay. Well,
That's Gina. She's very humble.
yes,
very.
yes. We are
Yeah,
in Gina's bar right
what a great
now.
moment for someone to stick a mic in your face.
Yeah,
It's like, she's very humble. Say something
Yeah,
about yourself.
say it.
Now you get shy. Oh, we're good to go.
Oh, I'd take a beer.
Oh wait, what? Beer? Anybody else?
Good.
All right.
Good. No, I'm fantastic. Thank you.
So, yeah, I don't know where I'm gonna have to edit that in or out, but that'll be fun.
Just leave it alone.
I might leave it alone. We'll have to see what it sounds like. So I just wanted to kind of go down the line, see what you guys are thankful for. I mean, I get maybe you haven't taken time to take a breath to think about it. Obviously, I never prepped you for any of this, so that's kind of be the thing. I'm just kind of shocking it in on you here. But like, what are some of the things that you guys are thankful for? Let's start maybe right down there with the man getting handed a beer over his face. Jeremy, what are you thankful for?
I feel like I'm thankful for most things. Not to be a dick about it, but I really don't have many gripes in this life as far as my personal life goes. Like, I bitch about a lot of stuff, I understand, but for the most part, things are pretty cool. Like, there's a lot of I can do what I want in this world. Never had a real job. Very thankful for my comrades that are also musicians and the people that come out to shows and the bars that have me, and you know, the people that make music that have never met me and inspired me. It's just crazy. You know, whoever did the special effects for Lord of the Rings, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. Cool. Timeless. You know, whoever invented shepherd's pie, that's pretty cool. Thankful for that.
Good things to be thankful for, yeah. Honestly, shepherd's pie is pretty
I
good.
haven't had shepherd's pie forever.
Yeah,
I don't know if I ever have, really.
it's pretty awesome.
It's good.
It's awesome that he just actually, we got Ober to open up for once, and then we come away and we're talking about the shepherd's pie
Right,
part.
yeah.
That's very, very good deflection. No, I mean, it's
Good stuff.
Well, hey.
yeah. That's very true. Like, one of the things he said was like the people who inspired you that you never met, you know, and that's like kind of weird to think about. Like, I wonder how many people we all have inspired in one way or another, or if we have, or whatever, you know, not to be like, oh, we're cool, but like, you know, in theory, maybe somebody's inspired to play guitar because of one of us, you know, and it's like, what is that?
That's pretty
And
cool.
we've never met them, and
man.
might never
My
meet
mom
them or
told me to
something.
be humble, but we all inspired at least, I'm gonna guess, a handful of individuals apiece to maybe enjoy or explore music. I don't know how many tambourines or egg shakers I've given away, how many guitars you've gifted to people, how many lessons you've taught, how many lessons you've taught, and not to mention Peter Stockdale is humble enough not to say that on the Rockin' Picnic, I remember signing three guitars that you dipped? For that
Yeah, maybe one or two. I don't remember.
Either way, I
One
think
for
we're all
sure.
doing our part without saying it out loud, and this is our chance and, our soapbox, so we're using it.
Yeah.
We're all good people, believe it or not.
Yeah, I mean,
Except for Jeremy.
yeah. I mean,
Definitely not me.
as far as inspiring people, we'll definitely have to bring up Broken Strings for sure with Scott. But Clint, what are you thankful for? Let me ask you that. What are some things you've been thankful for in this last year?
This last year has been a whirlwind, I will not lie. Ups and downs all over the place, but it's always been on the positive part. I am thankful for all the friends that I still retain in the short amount of time I've been in Webster County, and now I'm over in... I bought a house this year. I'm thankful for that. And I got married this year. I'm thankful for my wife. And I'm just thankful for every opportunity to do what I want every day because I'm a musician.
Yeah, I mean,
Amen to that.
that's beautiful. I mean, it's one thing I always thought was kind of crazy. There's been like a couple periods in my life where I didn't have a job, and it's usually like a couple months here, or maybe like when I went to school, there was like a year or so there where I didn't have a job, and that was like so daunting to me to be able to like, I have to manage my own time now without somebody telling me what to do. Like, it's just weird, I don't know. But it's fun. You've been able to afford yourself the opportunity to at least go out and do that.
Not
Most
to
people
interrupt, but some of those times that you weren't doing much with your time, you and I were Frisbee golfing. It was great.
I mean, that is true.
It was like, what are you doing? It's Wednesday afternoon. Nothing. Let's go
yeah.
Frisbee golf. All right.
Yeah, I'm out of class. Let's do this.
Yep.
So Scott, you probably we need to talk about Broken Strings a little bit. What are you thankful for in this last year?
Just being here, my life period. Like, I mean, I'm here. My kids are doing great. Tammy's great. Music is great. I record.
You can use your fucking legs.
I get to do it. Yeah, I'm standing up.
Yeah.
I mean, literally every day is kind of a blessing. And I've worked gosh darn many years in a shit job that I hated, and I did it because I had to, and then I finally don't have to do it anymore, and so I'm just thankful for that because life is way different now, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something to be said for sure. I mean,
Harry with the tears.
yeah, they're real. That's real stuff. Yeah. But I
I
mean,
love you for it. You want to borrow these?
Yeah, baby.
oh yeah. So I mean, there's something to be said. I mean, we've all had jobs we hated. Let's be honest. And I mean, there's nothing against jobs that you hate. Everyone.
Oh, no.
We all kind of have to have a job,
Oh, yeah.
to some extent. And it's nice that you guys have found the ability to make money doing what you like, as opposed to having to go do something just because you have to go do something.
Pretty blessed, yeah. Really. I mean, I think all of us are really.
Oh, yes.
I mean, we're blessed to do what we get to do for a living,
Yeah.
I drove through a car dealership and I was just looking for, a really good van. I got van envy.
Yeah, I know, I get it.
But everything I was looking at, and then I drove to Omaha on Saturday, and every truck that passed me, I was like, that was $75,000 that just passed me on the interstate.
Yeah,
That was $80,000. So I'm just grateful and thankful for the fact that I can get by on my $7,000 pickup with an air mattress in the back. And
Right.
Are we going to Key West in Florida?
Yeah, let's go.
in February?
I'm ready to go.
Yep.
February.
All right, there you go. You got a place to camp out right in the back of your little truck there with
Songwriter
it.
get together.
That'd be fun. Oh man, yeah. I mean, it's cool to be able to have afford yourself those opportunities, and I mean like even though like, and I'm not trying to like say like, even though we have jobs, and play music on the side, we
Migrants.
it's still it's
Yeah.
I like to
sucks
think of
to be
myself as outdoors.
it's
outdoorsy type.
it's still wild to me like
I'll book a show with you on a Saturday, and let's say I have my Friday night off for once, so I have Friday night off, and then Saturday rolls around, and I'm driving to wherever to play a show with you, and I'm like, this is freaking cool that I get to do this, like how wild, like what was I doing before? Just sitting on my ass doing nothing? Like what was I doing before? I can't even remember what I was doing before I started playing music.
You go to a lot of places just doing it.
Yeah, I go to a lot of places I've never would have dreamed of going. I'm going into a lot of establishments I never, would never really go into, so it's nice to be able to see parts of the world and things, that you don't normally think you would be able to see, or it's weird to be like the entertainment for possibly like thousands of people at times, and it's like, okay, like cool. All right, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it's weird because I talked about it on a recent podcast where it's like we have to take time to sit and soak these things in, and I never really think about it too much until it's almost over with, and it's like I never enjoyed it in the moment. I only basked in it afterwards, and I don't know. I'm kind of going off on a tangent, but...
Do you get that way with the podcast? Like, I forgot we even fucking said that. Like, what was going on at that minute while you're editing? Because you can't say the F word like I just did.
Well, I will say I edit these a lot more now than I ever have. And I don't know why, because I wanted to just record them and put them out there and just be like, too bad, deal with it. But like, I still think I need to go through and edit some of these. So if you want to listen to some lawless stuff, just go listen to the other episodes.
Maybe you should come out with a bloopers reel.
I barely ever edit
not
any of
supposed to
those.
swear.
No, you can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want.
Oh, we're not
but-
supposed to swear? No, this isn't the radio, right?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want, but there's still like, I have like the image of the podcast and or myself because I'm on here every week, and even though I'm
Like,
like,
so please don't
I don't want to be
disrespect
responsible
me.
for doxing somebody for something that they didn't want to admit,
Jeremy
that they
starts talking
accidentally
about
admitted
cutting
or
himself.
something.
Yeah,
Right.
I know. I don't want to be a part of
But
that.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot to be thankful for this year, by all means. It's just,
Yeah, absolutely.
your thighs, Jeremy.
So we're gonna move down the line here.
Yeah.
What are you thankful for, Jesse? It's been quite a year for you too. I mean, you've been playing a lot of shows this year, last year. I mean, it feels like it just keeps progressing for you as we go along. And what are you thankful for?
I'm thankful that I have a healthy family, no ailments on us, and just waking up every day. I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for all you guys.
I want to quickly say before you go on with your list that I am thankful for Merrily I Go and for you cats being involved in this jazz. Holy cow, give that a listen. That's
Thanks for
all.
writing that song.
Yeah,
Producing Jesse Wilson, that's what they call him.
Is that right?
yeah.
Can't show them too much. I'm thankful just for God's grace and forgiving me. I'm not a perfect human, and I'm still saved. I'm a sinner, and He saved me, and I'm very thankful for God's grace. And
Amen to that.
amen.
Yeah, absolutely. I it's crazy to sit there and think about like some of the things we take for granted, and it's like I always, when I was growing up, it was like, Thanksgiving, man, like, oh, we're thankful for this. I don't care, whatever. Just give me the turkey, and I'll eat the food and watch the football and stuff. But then when you actually sit and you think back on stuff, like you said something like you're thankful to have a happy family or a healthy family, and it's like,
absolutely.
that's something that, like I never really think about, and like nobody ever really thinks about their health until they're sick or they don't feel
True
good,
story.
and just to have a reflectionary point in your life where you actually sit and think about it, like, oh, what, I'm happy I'm not sick right now.
Not everybody's well.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah. And those are the things that I don't know. It's weird to get older. Like, do you guys feel like as you get older, you're just like, oh, yeah, there's like parts of what my parents said or my grandparents said or the way that, I was kind of raised that this makes a lot more sense now. And before, when I was younger, I was just like, meh.
The funny part about it saying is that what we're all thankful for, but it all relates to one thing, and it's music. Is the common denominator between all of them. Like, if it wasn't for music, all of us wouldn't be here sitting here.
I never would have met any of you guys.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So think about that. I mean, just music in general and being in music. Look what music has done for us. That's awesome. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, do you guys think when you were growing up, you ever would have thought, it's not like we're like superstars. It's not like we're just like on tour every week, all week, but like we play enough shows that it's, we do enough things. Did you ever think when you were growing up that you would be where you're at, like today, like
No.
here?
Wasn't on my radar.
Told me 20 years ago I was going to be a full-time musician. I would have told you were crazy.
How early did all of you guys pick up a guitar?
Jeremy Ober was playing guitar in the womb. I must.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I think we got baby pictures of you.
I saw a car commercial with Crazy Train that played in it, and I was like, "Ooh, wow! I want a guitar now." And that's
That's pretty cool. Very cool.
In 2001, it was after
Then I pissed
9/11.
my diaper.
And if it wasn't for a buddy of mine saying, "Hey man, when I get home from Florida, dude, we should buy guitars." Okay.
Karaoke in down there or something, or?
No, he was down there for a buddy of mine was down there for a refrigeration convention, and because you couldn't fly anywhere after 9/11, after they bombed the towers.
I do recall that.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't go anywhere. So he called me up and he's like, "Hey, if I ever get back home, you know, let's play guitar. Let's learn how to play guitar." All right. So I bought a Alfred Bay's guitar book or whatever that one is, or you know what I mean? The guitar chord book, and I taught myself how to play guitar, I guess. And
Awesome.
here I am, still playing it.
Sweet.
Yeah, I started playing at like 16, but I quit at like 19 and didn't start playing again until I was like 27.
Why'd you quit playing?
I just didn't want to play anymore.
That's what I did with drums.
Basically,
Just quit playing.
nobody to play with, didn't know what to do, didn't know where to go with it. Wasn't ever,
drums would
wasn't
be
ever
the
thinking
worst.
about.
What are you gonna do? Sit there and just make a sweet beat?
I always played with that. I always played with a backing track or play with Metallica or something like that. You know, I mean, playing on a old Pioneer stereo home speakers sitting behind you as you're jamming on the drums. I mean, that's what my old Mapex. I had a Mapex set that I sold to California to pay my down payment on our house when I bought the house 22 years ago.
Worth it.
Well, I mean, you had a house.
Seen it a million times.
And you were playing Metallica on it, so that means the snare drum was beat to piss.
Oh yeah,
The rest of the kit
that was a great
perfect.
set. Actually, it was a super nice set. I wish I had it. And now I'm like, damn, why did I sell that thing? Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Jeremy Ober was at my first show ever. Dirty Thunder was playing at Front and Center, and Barn a Mile, you made an appearance, and I thought that was pretty.
Front and center.
It's the one across the
Yeah.
alley, I think, from the junkyard.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh wow.
I asked him what he thought, how was it, and he's like, better than our first show. I was like, all right, I'll take it.
Oh God. So here's something I was thinking about. So we've all bought and sold guitars. We've all bought junk before. Oops, bought a junky guitar, had to sell it. Or oops, this thing, I thought I needed it, I didn't actually need it. Maybe Ober's the only exception because he started with a Gibson Les Paul and probably a
Is that what you started with?
Van Halen amp or something. You know, I'm just making this up. I'm just making it up. You're not. We talked about it once. You're not one to go through a lot of gear. You usually buy stuff you want and you keep it.
I don't buy much, and I don't sell much. I've only sold one guitar in my life, and I've never sold an amp. But I've only owned 4 amps in my life.
You ever smashed one?
An amp?
A guitar?
Yeah, but it wasn't mine.
What? I think there was a video of that, maybe.
Was that in Iowa Falls?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still hanging on the wall, man.
Yeah, there's pieces of it on the wall.
Oh man. So we've all played guitars though, and like junky ones, and so this is what I was thinking. I saw some guitars online. I don't know if they're junky. They're probably junky, but like, and this is not a political statement, but you guys remember Donald Trump selling shoes for a while? He made like some gold shoes or something.
No,
Yeah.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah,
it's just
I do.
goofy stuff like that.
I remember it like it was 4 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
like
he's just
it was-
doing goofy stuff or whatever,
Well,
you
he's
know.
got
So like,
coins and guitars for sale now, Pete.
I
Bibles.
saw the guitars.
And Bibles.
Everybody else seen these guitars
Yeah,
he's selling?
I haven't
not
seen
seen
them up.
Trump.
I've
I haven't seen
heard
a Trump.
tale they go for like 10 grand, right?
Well,
Isn't that?
you can buy one. They're like $1,500,
It's a
whatever.
Les Paul.
Oh,
Like, it's
okay.
a Les Paul, right?
No, it's a bolt-on neck copy. And the thing is, like, I don't know how they're not going to get sued because Gibson's usually just like on it, you know. But also, whatever. If you want him to autograph it, it is 12 grand. Which
For Trump to autograph it?
yeah, to autograph the guitar.
On top of the 1,500.
But they're only making like 1,000 of them or whatever.
There's levels to it.
I don't know. I don't even know why I'm bringing this up. Maybe the whole point to bring this up is if you want a $1,500 guitar with an eagle on it and writing across it and stuff. Like go buy a $50 one and then give me $1,450 and I'll just do it for you.
Checks out.
Like,
Pete does a
don't know.
mean dipping. Not to
But-
mention the artwork on the Rockin' Picnic guitar, the blue one.
The red, white, and blue one.
Yes.
It was
Yep.
wet.
Yeah, you did make some pretty dang
That's
cool
pretty-
Yep.
guitars, man.
I signed it.
Yeah, there's a few. Yeah, there's definitely a few. They're all on, the videos are all on the YouTube channel. I haven't refinished a guitar in a while. I don't even remember the last one I did. Maybe the Iowa Central one. Oh, I remember. I refinished one that, like, it's like got celestial kind of looking color shifty paint. It just sits in my basement. I never take it anywhere because I don't like it.
Oh, you know?
No, I tried setting it up. It's a cheap guitar. I just refinished. It looks super cool, and it just does not set up well. And that's about the end
Can't
of
help that. Hanging on a wall, I guess.
Yeah, that's pretty
Wall
much,
hanger.
That's pretty much what it is. I just got to take, the $400 worth of pickups out of it because I've bought nice pickups to put in it.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. I mean, I modded and wired this thing all up weird, and so I'm gonna have to take the guts out of it and whatever. But 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
Have you ever wanted to be on the wood side of things and like design its own shape? Not the flying V or anything, but like a Peter Stockdale original?
What do you mean, like design a guitar shape?
Sure. Like Prince. He's
Get a
got his
CNC.
signature. The flying V's got its signature. The Les Paul's got,
Sand
Well-
it down on a block of wood.
This might be a weird take, but my theory is all the guitar shapes are taken. Everything looks like everything now, and if it doesn't, it's stupid. I'm not trying to be like just dumb
extra
about it.
wood,
Like
yeah.
the Flying V
It is
and the Explorer were two that when they came out, they're like, these are pointy, these are weird, we'll never sell these, and like maybe the shop might have had one, maybe, and so and then they ended up selling them. Now they're worth $1 billion, and they're commonplace guitars. But you also I can't bring like a Flying V to a Jesse Wilson show, I mean,
you can.
Sure,
That
you
would-
could.
I mean,
Man, that'd be
Why wouldn't you?
I mean, you could, or like an Explorer would be weirder than a Flying V,
Probably not with the vineyard
Explorer
or nothing.
would-
keep it weird.
The funny thing is, an Explorer would be weirder than a Flying V, which is crazy to even conceptualize. Because if you showed up to a Jesse Wilson show with the Flying V, everyone would be like, ballsy.
Checks
but if you
out.
showed up with an Explorer, they'd be like,
What are you
all
doing?
right, James Hetfield, get out of here.
It
It's
just becomes
hilarious.
Dirty Thunder all over again.
Oh, I'm ready.
Yeah,
I'm
that
ready.
was
We
it.
should do some wild stuff.
But I mean, let's go down guitar shapes. Like, there's the Fender, which is the Strat and the Telly. And you got,
Jaguar, too. Don't forget about that one. No.
okay, so we'll call that an offset Telly. That's,
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so those are the three big ones they got. You got Les Paul SG. That's about it. Everything else is kind of a rip-off of something
Yeah,
else. to an
basically everything's a Strat,
Telecaster,
Les Paul, or SG.
Yeah.
Just by
Basically everything.
pickups, not by design,
So then you
right?
get- so then you got-
just by pickups, not by
No,
design.
by design.
by design.
We're
Yeah,
doing body
designs.
shape because you were talking about cutting a body shape, so that's why we're talking about this. But
Then
then
you
you
throw
got
Prince's custom one in there. I don't know what you call that.
Oh, it's beautiful.
well. Do you really
Well,
think so though?
I do.
Can I bring that to a Jesse Wilson show? Is that going to fit in?
Absolutely not.
Pick it up. and
He's out here peacocking.
right,
Absolutely not.
No. Yeah, no.
Give
There's
Pete
no
a
way,
bow.
there's no way that
He
you
will-
show up to a show with a Prince guitar, and if you're not in a Prince tribute band, you're not going to get laughed
I want to see you wear the outfits,
You're going to get
Pete.
laughed at unless you're in a,
We'd make it work.
a tribute band
George
of Prince.
Michael's and Prince, we'd be
We'll
fine.
put this
There
out
ain't
there
no
to
way.
the rest of the
There
world.
ain't no way.
If anyone out there has a Prince guitar-shaped guitar,
I know people that do. And they play in Prince cover bands and
I
Prince
want you to
tribute
come
shows.
play for
Oh, they
me.
do?
Yeah.
We'll make it work.
Yeah. Or they
I've seen one in person somewhere, but I can't remember where.
Yeah.
Well, I want to say I
Probably
think
my
the
living room.
The Dick Danger band, I think, is their name down near
Oh,
Des
yeah.
Moines.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a real
so
thing.
they're the guy in that band, I think, has
Okay.
got one that he plays sometime because they play a lot of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, okay,
You know,
gotcha.
when they cover songs,
Yeah.
it makes sense in that application. But like we said, those are the big body types. There's not anything else. Everything else is like a modification of those in some
Yes.
capacity.
Yeah, pretty much.
And if it's not, it's weird. Like
Yeah.
I showed you pictures of that PV whatever I bought. I think it's a Mystic. It's all like, I don't know. It's weird. It's like red shaped and all
had to be a little
curly and
different,
like
right?
it's like, what are you doing
Everything's
with this?
been done though, right?
Yeah,
So,
and by that point, it's just like this doesn't even look like a real guitar. There's like PV made a few of those, and there's a couple other companies that have made those, and
Yeah.
but there's not really any.
Or you can do like a BC Rich bullshit Which was my first guitar.
Yeah,
by the
those
way, was
BC
the
Riches got
Rich.
weird for a little
Yeah,
bit,
my
right?
BC
I'm
Rich
sorry
is
if
that
there's
bat
anyone
wing
out there
looking
who
dumb.
plays
Oh,
a BC Rich, but
Nice ones got. Nice ones were-
there's some high end BC Riches.
yeah, some
that
of the
are
nice-
awesome.
But super cool.
Yeah, I mean, my first guitar was a BC Rich, and I thought it was the coolest shit ever when I was looking in the catalog.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm gonna like descend from the Raptors like Gene Simmons, and
It was kind of like a tribal tattoo with
Well,
when the tattoos
that was-
came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one too.
But even still, a lot of those, like, that might be the only one where, like, all of the BC Riches kind of are in their same area. You know, it's like bass shapes, there's only a handful, and there's only a couple where you're just like, I'll let it slide. Like Rickenbacker, you're like, yeah, that's... You probably came up with that one on your own, looking at like an antique table leg or something. You know, like, we're just gonna design it like this up here. It's gonna be a little curly.
it's pretty
cute.
cool though.
Yeah, you know.
Rickenbackers are cool.
Yeah, I mean, like Dan Electro was a guitar that had a weird kind of shape like
Yeah.
the Rickenbacker with the
Kind of like
horn on it.
Rickenbacker. Yep.
Yeah, the horn was weird on it. So otherwise, like, there's really not too much you can get away with. But there are shapes where people know them, where it's like the PRS guitars. That's like your Carlos Santana or your John Mayer might have played those for a little bit or something.
Like hollow bodies or something.
Still goes after a
No,
Strat.
they're pretty much Strats. but
Yeah.
it's
It's like
still a Strat
a Les
shape.
Paul and a Strat mushed
Yeah.
into one. It's like
Yeah,
an arch
pretty
top
much.
Strat.
Right.
Yep.
So, and then I think the scale length is actually right
Great
in the middle too,
guitars.
if I'm not mistaken. So
Yep.
it is
Yep.
just basically a mush between the two. But yeah, there's really not
You
too
have to
many
talk
shapes.
to Ron the King about that.
Yeah, Ramlin loves it. He says he likes it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
you should get Ron Lee King, and I'm calling you out, Brad Hofing. We get a G&L and like just that the technical side conversation
Rig
going.
rundown.
The rig rundowns.
that's actually copywritten.
Yeah.
You can't say that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's gone.
Sorry,
Show
for
us your
Guitar
gear.
Magazine.
We're gonna have ourselves a run rig down.
A run
Run rig down?
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know.
Show us your gear.
It's in parody, so yes.
Send me your lawyers.
Oh my gosh.
Can't find me.
Might want to edit that one out too.
No, we're leaving that in there. That's a good one. We'll leave it in there. Chase after us. It's not like I'm actually doing any of them. But yeah, I mean, as far as guitar shapes, that's kind of that. I mean, like you were talking, your first guitar was a BC Rich. It was like a Warlock, basically, you know. And that
Warlock.
That first guitar got hydro dipped.
Yeah, you dipped
and,
that, yeah.
and auctioned off. And is it Tiffany Nelson? Is that who owns it, I think?
Yes.
Yes, I believe that's right. Steven Tiffany.
It's either on her wall or in the back of a closet.
Yeah. But, you know, that was pretty cool.
I've been sitting here trying to think of something to be smart about rig stuff, and I was Ibanez. Ibanez, right? A lot of
Yep.
people use Ibanez.
Yes. Yeah. I mean,
That's a lot of
That's a
people's
good point.
First guitars, it seems like, was
Yeah.
an Ibanez.
They're all still Strats.
Mine
though.
was.
They rocked. Oh, it's a
There you go.
Strat.
It's a super
Okay.
Strat.
They're all
Yep.
still Strats. Yeah.
Yep, that was basically like, well, you want to modify a Strat and do stuff, like you can, or you can just buy an Ibanez because it's basically the same
Throw whatever
thing.
pickups you want on it. Or
Yeah.
something.
Well,
Oh, unless you're playing metal, and it's always the
paper
black
thin neck,
G's
though.
pickups.
Yes, that was like their big.
paper thin neck on an Ibanez.
But it was also 80s when they gained popularity, which playing fast was the style, so people thought thinner necks play faster.
Yeah, sure.
You know, which, I don't know. It's just kind of weird how that kind of stuff interweaves itself and, you know, is a thing. Oh, here's a good one. Steve Vai with the monkey grip on the guitar. Like, how weird did that look when you first saw one, and now how normal does it look?
I don't think it looks normal.
No, me
You don't think it
either.
looks
But I've seen it enough that it doesn't look. I don't know. It's weird anyway.
Yeah.
Then what are you gonna
How's
do?
the
Walk
attack?
around with your guitar like it's a suitcase?
It's just like on the top of the
Pick
guitar.
it in?
No, you can just hold on to the guitar.
Yeah,
it's like
but-
they drilled a hole
With your hands,
like
your
with
hands
fing-
go around it.
with finger,
Finger
it has like finger grips and
so you can just,
everything,
like,
so
take
you
it and
can
carry it if
carry
you
it
want to.
around like
Okay.
your guitar, like a briefcase.
Yeah.
And that's the center of balance because the neck's up there.
I suppose, but
Steve Vai.
you should still put it in a case.
If I remember, I'll throw a picture up here if anybody's watching on YouTube. But
Cue the picture.
yeah, but I don't know. Like again, there's really not too many guitars that are really different shaped, and I don't know. Favorite guitar shape? Let's just go down the list. You know, I was gonna say, what's your first guitar? We know yours. Clint, what was your first guitar?
Oh God, it was a first act from Walmart.
Mine too.
A buddy that needed $100 to get back to Cresco, Iowa, and I said, "All right, that's ridiculous. I'm not giving you $100." He said, "I have a guitar," and I said, "I'll take it." And then I started. Well, I was a poet, and I had this guitar, and that led to me being a songwriter. But it was a first act. and it was disgusting. The action from like
Chore to play.
Oh yeah, they fought you the whole time.
Yeah. I think, believe
that's
it or
why
not,
I got married.
I recall that being, oh geez, good joke. I remember talking with Ober about this, like on one of the very first episodes. Was like, if you have like a cheap guitar, the benefit is that you didn't have to spend much, but the downside is it's usually tougher to play, and that's like that weird thing where like it's that silver lining on the dark cloud. It's like the inverse of that, you know, because you have to spend more money on a hobby that you don't know if you like yet to start out on something. So you really have to want it, you know. Most of our guitars were cheap, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you started off nice, honestly, like if I would have had a decent guitar, I probably would have started and tried a lot harder. But I just kept putting it in the corner rather than, because it's not fun to play when your fingers hurt.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
All right, Scott.
And broken strings.
I had an Ibanez. It was mine.
Was Ibanez really?
Ibanez acoustic.
Oh, acoustic.
Acoustic, yeah.
Okay.
That was my first guitar. I learned on it played great. I got it from Fort Dodge Music Center
Oh yeah.
back in the day.
Turn it on and turn it up.
Yeah.
Those commercials.
I heard it on the radio.
Fort Dodge
I think it was
Music
Midvale
Center.
Music at that point in time. I don't think it was Raymond yet in town.
Right, jingles.
But yeah, Ibanez, it was a nice. I mean, I think I paid like $180 for it, which you know,
That's a lot of money.
that was a
That's
lot of money. That was a lot of money back then.
lawns, is
Yeah.
what we
Yeah.
say. Yeah.
What about you, Jesse?
Mine was a first act also. My father put a guitar in my hand and learned a couple Leonard Skinner songs and Creedence Clearwater Revival. And yeah, like it was a chore to play. Like it would have been a lot easier with a quality guitar, but it put music in my head and in my heart. And yeah.
And your left fingers will never feel.
Everybody-
You're not even
Everybody
holding the
complains, like-
microphone into your face at all, Clint. What are you doing? We're on a podcast.
So Jesse Wilson, I bet your left fingers or your left-hand fingers don't feel damn thing when you pick up a baked potato. I'm the same way.
Cows.
Because we've been playing first acts.
But you
There's
know,
a distance.
Every newcomer, a beginner guitar player, they're like, they're frustrated. Like, don't worry, everybody's fingers didn't do what you told them to do it first. Keep picking it up, keep playing.
That was the big thing with broken strings. That I remember that when I didn't want to play anymore. This is stupid. This hurts my. And then you buy a decent guitar, and you're like, wow, that makes a huge difference in your.
Yeah.
Like my fingers don't hurt anymore, and I don't really remember when the
You're
time
like
was
crashing
that.
through plateaus. You had before,
You know, when all of a sudden the chord changes just became a thing so quick, right? You know, and then songs started coming together. I don't remember any of that part, but I just remember, man, the guitar fought you.
Yep.
And it was terrible. So when we started Broken Strings, I was like, listen, we need a high quality guitar that we could get for a decent price to give these kids. Otherwise, they're never going to want to keep playing. I mean, their fingers are going to hurt like hell. You know?
Yeah, give them a first
So
act.
that's when that's
Sorry,
when we started
Walmart.
buying Yamahas and Alvarez's and you know, and man, I wish I had that for a first guitar. They're great guitars.
Yeah.
Plant seeds, buddy. Plant seeds.
I would call like anything in the intermediate area is like the best guitar you could get. And there's like low level intermediate guitars, like maybe $300-ish to
$3 to
$500.
$6 is
You know,
intermediate, right?
yeah, like $3 to $6. So I'd say that's a good intermediate.
right.
Yeah, you know.
That's an investment,
Then the
though.
sky's the
Would you
limit.
want to do? That's an investment, though. Would you want to do that for your, fourth grader who's like, I want to play guitar,
you got
and then
somebody
you
that's gonna
refer
give
to
you those
Jeremy
guitars.
Ober, and you're like, he'll teach you how, but you have to want it, and
Well, I mean,
it'll be a lot easier on a D28 rather than a first act.
Well, it's not like we're buying people Martins over here.
No,
but
by no means. But I mean, they're a great first guitar.
First act, I did want to say, like, they do make good guitars, though.
Oh, that's a bold-faced lie, Peter Stockdale.
Oh, they actually do.
They have
some high-end guitars. I got a mic. I got my own mic.
They literally do have some multi-$1,000 guitars, custom shop made ones that are very, very nice. So I will say that.
But
First act.
I did take a double take.
Yeah.
I did take a double take the first time I saw
All the
that.
lawyers of Walmart can look me up, know that I have nothing to take, so you will not want to sue me, but I will tell you this.
Silly goose.
Thank you so much for selling me a first act guitar, because my fingers are like leather and I can play anything now, and I appreciate you.
Yeah.
That's all I want to say. I'm grateful for that. It's Thanksgiving.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. It's every time you talk now, I'm just like, do we have to edit this out? Like I'm just like sitting here like waiting for this.
Oh no! I'm being grateful.
Why would you edit it out? This is Friendsgiving, and anybody who knows us knows this.
I get it, but people who don't know us might listen to this, and that's the whole concept of why I'm going to be doing some editing.
They'll get a kick out of it.
Well, yeah, I don't know. This is pretty funny either way, but it's been really good. I mean, we don't quite have an hour in here. I didn't really bring any topics to this. Each of you has been on the podcast since it's come back, except for Jeremy Ober, which is kind of neat that you're here. Believe it or not, there is one thing I did want to bring up. So in the original series of the podcast, the original 200-ish episodes, we talked about Brad. We talked about Brad a lot.
Brad!
And Brad never came on the podcast. I believe Brutal Republic, Jeremy's band on YouTube, had commented #Bradable Farm. So if you guys want to start throwing that around, maybe.
#Bradable Farm.
Bradable Farm.
Oh, I will so start the trend right now.
My wife said #bring Brad back.
Wait for it.
He's
We're gonna
never
start
been
doing
here.
this right now.
Yeah, Bradable
As far as
Farm.
anyone knows, he doesn't exist.
Well, that's the thing. You know, like, I swear that people are just going to think he doesn't exist because I just brought him up again, and it's like how is that even a thing? You know, like, I don't.
It's a damn shame.
Long story short, he said he would be here. He had to work. He couldn't be here. Unfortunate. We almost got him on the
He had to
podcast.
work.
But, well, I mean, he is.
He's a farmer.
Oh, well, true.
He's a
Farmer.
farmer. No, okay, well, let's he's got kids.
Yeah.
Life happens.
Life happens. I mean, life happens.
Right now, Brad. Planting real hard
He's
right now,
gonna,
Brad.
but we can get Brad on here. I bet if we just like trick him, like he
Well-
can't know that it's gonna happen.
Well, that was the
we lock him in a room and you're just sitting at a table with mics
With a
around.
microphone.
I did fix up a good bass guitar for Brad recently, and I was thinking like maybe I will see if he'll do a podcast where we just talk while we're fixing up his bass.
Oh,
but
that's nice.
Didn't do one, and then he said he'd come and do this, and I was like, well, there'll be like 6 people there. It'll be enough to like, you know, he won't feel like the spotlight's on him. It'll all be good, and it's I don't know. He had to work either way. We're gonna get him on here. Get #Bradable Farm.
I talked to Brad this afternoon, and I was like, "Hey, man, what do you got going on?" He's like, "Well, I'm supposed to go over there, but I don't want to be a satellite." I'm like, "What are you talking about, Brad?" I was like, "You're part of the scene."
#Bradable
Bring
Farm.
Brad back.
Farm.
Bradable
Make
Farm.
Brad great again.
Bradable Farm for sure.
And
Yeah, when I saw that it's so awesome that it was on YouTube too, because like, I believe it or not, I do check the YouTube stuff. Like, there's a lot of traffic on the YouTube, so
See, I like every episode.
yeah,
you didn't
absolutely.
notice that?
I've also noticed.
I hashtagged that while I was listening to it too. It wasn't even an afterthought.
Bradable Farm?
I was listening to it, and you had talked about how Brad, you couldn't get Brad on there, so I was just like #Bradable Farm.
Bradable Farm. That's awesome.
Actively trying to bring
So
him on.
Jeremy's starting the trend for
That's the
Bradable
best kind of
Farm. We'll
sport. Like,
continue
listen,
it for
share.
sure.
there's
That's
going to
about
be
the best kind of
T-shirts
sport.
made at Mad Rabbit and Optic Inc.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out.
So yeah, I mean that's something I think we need to like get on here. I've been trying to do it as much as possible with these like new episodes. It's like, let's just do something different. Let's bring new people on here. You know, I'm trying, even if I don't know them or haven't really listened to their music, it's just like I'm still gonna try and give people opportunities. But like, it's also tough because I haven't like set up a lot of the stuff I had before. I'm still just trying to do it portably and like face to face with people.
You're doing a
So
great job, whatever
Killing
you're doing.
it.
Keep it going.
I
Right?
feel like you're weeks ahead.
Right? Yeah, I mean, way weeks ahead.
I'm trying to be, but it's so funny because I've like messed so much stuff up. Like every episode, I've messed something up. Like Jared Benson's episode went up with nothing in the descriptions.
I watched
but
it.
luckily, I
watched it on
figured it
YouTube,
out like
yeah.
about 6 hours
the fact
after
that
I
you're
did
putting
it.
them all on YouTube is awesome. Thank you very
Love
much.
the videos on
Yeah,
YouTube.
that's another reason I'm doing editing because it's like, yeah, you never know. You just gotta kind of try your best to keep things
You're doing
normal,
great.
you know,
Keep
because
it
people
going.
can watch it, and that was like the benefit of the Patreon before. But now the Patreon, if you want to watch the episodes early, you can go to Patreon and watch them early.
Will this be out before Friendsgiving,
This will
Thanksgiving
be
Eve?
on Friendsgiving. This will be
Oh,
on Friendsgiving.
awesome.
This is
Yeah,
a
cool.
It's a Thursday podcast.
Really?
Yeah, so it's gonna be.
It's going to be over.
Yeah, your
Wednesday.
Yeah, your Wednesday shows will be done because this is coming out
Gotcha.
Thursday.
It's all
So,
over.
by the way, last night's shows were amazing. Good job,
You
guys.
guys were awesome at 4th Street.
I mean, if you guys do have your phones and want to plug some shows that are upcoming, this is coming out on Thursday, so you can do
Absolutely, we will.
that. Well, then get your phones out and let's start.
Ralph's
doing it.
more
I was
than
at
tap
I was
this
at Fort
Friday.
Dodge Moose Lodge last night. I didn't expect
Keith Richards to show up.
Did you see any?
Wait,
moose?
what?
It was a
That was like
pleasant
2
surprise. I haven't
blocks away
talked
from
I haven't
the
talked
writers'
to
room.
him in weeks.
I was there. You didn't go?
You went there after?
Keith Richards was
that's
literally
where
showed
Tammy
up.
went. Dang it,
Yeah.
Tammy went to the
That was crazy.
Keith Richards show.
Yes.
That was crazy.
So this comes out on Thursday. Do you guys have any shows coming up after, if people are listening to this on Thanksgiving, driving to or from their family's house, do you have any shows?
I'm going to be at Soldier Creek tomorrow from 6 to 8, I believe, for Black Friday. And then I'll be in, I forget what town, Fat Boy Saloon. Auburn.
Cool
Fat
bar.
Boy Saloon. Yeah, Fat Boy Saloon. So I'll be there Saturday.
All right. That's cool.
Wednesday rails with a bunch of friends, local friends.
That was yesterday.
Yeah, that was yesterday.
Yeah. You guys missed it. And but I ended up Saturday. I graduated Belmont Clemmy, but I grew up in Rowan, Iowa. It was Rowan, Belmont, Goodell, and Clemmy. But I played there on the Saturday after Spend All Your Money Friday.
Black Friday.
Black Friday.
Black Friday, yeah.
See you there.
So that's what you're playing on Friday?
Saturday.
Saturday, okay. All right. After Black Friday. Okay,
Yes.
so that is Saturday. Okay.
Everybody spent
see
their
what-
money
I mean, it
and
could be
does
anything,
not
yeah.
tip me. Not
Next
at all.
Friday,
They're
probably.
like, here's a buck.
Black Friday, I'll be at Reeves Wicked Good Bar in Titonka. And
Oh, that's a fun place.
yeah, it is a fun place.
Love
and then Saturday, I'll be at 36th Street Tavern in Ankeny.
Oh, nice.
Be kinda fun.
Down in Ankeny, yeah. So how about you, Jesse? You got any shows coming up?
Well, me and Pete just hauled ass last night at 4th Street. If you're listening to this on Thanksgiving,
Yes. Good show.
if
It
you're
was a good
driving,
show.
this is a great
I
time to
doubt
listen to
that.
Audible Farm. That's how I listen when I'm driving down the road. Next weekend we'll be at Ralph's, or this Friday we'll be at Ralph's Moreland Tap.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, cool. I remember my sister came and saw me play there once, and she's like, she lives in San Diego, so she's like,
Was there any nudity?
no.
Okay, good. That happens once in a while when a first timer comes. There's accidental nudity.
It seems to be that way, yeah. Like
It
somebody's
happens.
family member comes, and it's like, well, that's embarrassing.
Welcome to
but-
Moreland.
Yeah. I mean, it's anywhere. Like, it happens.
That was
True
my
story.
First,
It
that was
happened
my
in Cherokee
first solo
a couple weeks
show.
ago.
See?
Your first solo show?
I was at Ralph's, yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I was 18, so that was like
Wow,
5
cool.
years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
5 years ago.
Moreland, Iowa.
Four score and 20 years ago.
Age as well.
Well, you definitely got to
Age as
come Friday.
Yeah.
Come to Moreland Tap.
well. Yeah, definitely. So if you're
You
going
want
to
to come to Moreland Tap on Friday?
Yeah, I'll come.
You not bugged?
I don't think so. I'll have to look at my schedule.
Pete
but
and I will be at Moreland.
No, he's not. Pete's coming with me.
if you want to see
He's
my...
going to Reeves Wicked Good Bar.
Well, they got
have
great pizza.
Dude,
They have great
yes,
pizza.
it's true. That's one of those weird things where like you start to go to places and you're just like,
Oh, the
food here is pretty good. You know, you start to like
yeah.
pick out your favorites.
True story.
That's what Owen used to do every place. He was the food kind of. Remember that? He was our
Yes.
food connoisseur.
Dude, Owen would be eating food
He's always
everywhere.
eating.
He'd be like eating food on break, literally like stuffing down a whole
He was
burger and
probably
fries
still
in like
growing.
10 minutes.
He was still
Yeah,
growing.
he probably still is growing.
Yeah.
You're right. He is.
He takes Advil for knee growth pains.
Oh my gosh.
Shout out Owen. We love you.
Yeah, by the way,
We love
Owen,
you.
good luck.
We love you, buddy.
We
Yeah,
wish you
man.
nothing but
You're
the
gonna
best.
kill it.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is coming up before it. Do you guys know the date on that benefit?
It's
Is it
the first.
10th?
It's the first. It should be the first Sunday of December.
It's on a Sunday?
Yeah,
Okay.
So is that the first?
it is December 1st.
Okay, so it's December
so it's
1st?
December 1st. He's going the next weekend for his audition in Berkeley. Everything that's raised at that show will go towards his travel expenses to get there and do the audition for Berkeley. And
Kid's
we're-
gonna nail it.
Yeah, we're
Bring your
pretty
love and
confident.
support, and your money's help get out.
Yep.
Yeah, he said he'd be gone for 3 days. That's what he said.
Okay. All right. Yeah, definitely.
Sunday, December 1st, 1 to 4.
1 to 4, and that's at River Hops.
It is
River
at
Hops.
River Hops.
River Hops. All right, so make sure you go check that one out because that's coming up right around the corner. So do not miss it. Go support a good cause and get Owen to and from Berkeley. You know, get that audition done. You know,
Cool.
that's so crazy. Is going there to do the audition. I remember when he was super young talking about it, and
I
have a
remember
license
when he
yet
came
when
to
he
his
was playing
first
with us.
jam
Yeah.
night
Yeah.
in Barnum.
I remember his first zit.
If you know Owen, you know he deserves it, and if you don't know him, you're gonna want to know him.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
yeah.
Is he
Show
playing
up either way.
Is he playing? Is he playing at the event?
I'd probably not going to be able to stop him.
Yeah,
We hope so.
I mean, the kid never stops playing. So.
Yeah, we hope so.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was one of the funnest things about going to jams, like the Barnum Jam. He would always just be like, he'd still be playing, and people would be like, I need a break. I've been playing for 2.5 hours. Hey, get up here and play with me. And
there was a time when I lived in Barnum, he came over, and we jammed for 2 hours. And then I gave him a ride to the bar so he could unload all of his stuff, and he played for 4 more hours.
Yeah.
Just straight.
Yeah.
Just didn't stop.
As a musician,
It was a 6 hour. It was a 6 hour day on a Tuesday for him.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
I remember Tracy talking about, he's like, oh yeah, and and he was huge with Owen playing guitar and
Tracy's Owen's grandpa.
yeah.
Just
Tracy
for those that
Owen's
don't know.
Yep. And he was always so proud of Owen and how he would come about, and he taught Owen a lot. And then he's just like, you got to go out on your own, and you need to hang around with the Obers and the Chris Carrs and everybody else,
Boy, did he.
Yeah, right. and he did, and that's made him the player that he is today. And he's fantastic. There's no doubt about it. I wish him nothing but the best.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. So, I mean, that's definitely something. You're playing at that, right, Ober?
Yes.
All right. That's I can't remember who else is playing.
I think
Vino and
Vino's going to be there.
Fossbender?
Jefferson's going to be there. Jefferson Fossbender. I feel like I'm pretty sure that Riley King is going to make an appearance.
okay.
We'll probably have a lot of musicians there on a Sunday.
Yeah,
I
it's
think so.
gonna be pretty packed. Yeah, definitely. So that's River Hops. Make sure you check that one out. Show up early, because otherwise you're gonna not have a place to sit, because that place is gonna get
gonna
full.
fill up.
It's gonna fill up pretty quick. So, we got just over an hour. I don't know. Just over an hour somewhere recorded in here. I don't have any other real topics to talk about. I feel like we've ran out a lot of them. We've all plugged all of our shows. We talked about our first guitars. We talked about a lot of opinions on different stuff.
Where
What
are
do
you
got down
eating
there?
turkey?
I don't know if I'm gonna have turkey.
You're welcome at my
that's a
house.
darn
We're having a supper time.
All right, appreciate it.
We got more turkey tonight.
Yeah, you guys might a little turkey.
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
Oh my gosh, so good. You guys are lucky. I was gonna buy turkey hats and make us all wear turkey hats.
I'm so glad you didn't.
See, that's what I was thinking. I'd be like, I'm the only one wearing a turkey hat, and you guys would all say
Ober would have looked great in a turkey hat.
Ober would have been the first person to say no. I know for a fact. He's not a turkey hat kind of guy. I don't know.
I'm a hat kind of guy.
I think he would wear one.
I will not forget the last jam that you had right here at the Eagles Hideout, which is, again, where we're recording this. Gina came in and said hi for a second. And so the last jam that was here, I went up and played, and I brought a stocking hat, but I didn't bring like a hat. And then I get up on stage, and everyone's just like, your hat. And I'm like looking around like, did I drop it? And they're like, your hat. And I'm like, hey, your hat. And I'm like, what? And somebody's just like, you don't have a hat. And I'm like, I don't get it. Like, are you trying to say I'm bald? Like, what's going on? And they're like, you usually have a hat on. I didn't think about it. It's like, I do usually have a hat on.
He's getting all
actually.
defensive like this is a
Morello
bald
over
thing.
Here, nobody.
I don't know.
Everyone's like a toddler that just saw their father shave for the first time.
Then I thought about it. It's like, I do usually have like this on in the summer and a stocking and hat on in the winter. But
Always.
I don't know. It gets cold
Do
up
what
there.
I want, he said.
I love it. But yeah, I just want to say thank you guys sitting down, talking with me, doing this with me. I know it's kind of weird. We've never done anything like this. We never really
Thanks
had
for
a round
having us. It
table.
was great.
I bet we look freaking dashing.
I hope so. I hope it's still recording, because I have it flipped around the opposite way so we can get better visuals on this than the front
They're
facing
just
camera,
watching
but-
Molly lose money at the
Let's hope
machine
not.
back there.
No. It's pointed this way. I just can't see it. I don't have a screen to monitor is what I'm talking about.
We
but
might have
but
to do
that's
it all over.
No, we're not doing it all over.
We got 3 minutes in, and it was just like
It stopped
storage
recording.
full.
No, it has happened before. If we didn't get this all the way in, we're not doing it again. Because
thanks for having us, Pete.
I don't know if we're all going to make
Thanks
it.
for bringing back Audible
Thanks for
Farm.
bringing back Audible
Here.
Farm, man.
Here.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yes.
Hashtag Bradable Farm.
Bradable Farm.
I almost want to just title this title of this episode. is
Hashtag Bradable Farm. You should.
Oh man, love you, Brad.
Love you, Brad.
Thank you guys for watching, and thank you guys for
Happy
joining me.
Thanksgiving.
Happy
Everybody.
Thanksgiving, everybody.
Thanksgiving.
Hey, I told you that was wild. Good episode. It was a little bit weird in some spots, but I guess I've never really had too much experience with interviewing like 4 people at once. It's kind of tough to keep everyone on topic sometimes, but otherwise it was really good. Turned out really awesome. I didn't bring headphones this time, so I didn't monitor anything. I just did it with whatever audio levels I had, and just did it visually, I guess. Did it old school. So yeah, I don't know. It was a pretty good episode. I liked it. It was really good. Make sure you check out all the links down below for all the people that came and joined me on this episode. Show their support. They've been supporting Audible Farm. They've been supporting me, and I'm just the guy that gets to stand next to them and look good with them. That's all that I am. So I'm really thankful that I get to go out there and play shows with those guys. Mostly Jesse, sometimes Clint, and then the occasional show I'll pick up. Like I've played maybe 1 or 2 shows in the last couple of years with Scott Kirkhart, and maybe in 1 or 2 with Jeremy Ober. So those fill-in gigs are really fun, and I just gotta say thanks to those guys for supporting Audible Farm and joining me for such an interesting podcast. I've never done anything like that before, so I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it a lot. I also want to say thanks to Gina. Gina was definitely she popped in for a little bit. She let me use a little side room at the Eagles hideout to record this episode. I needed a place for everyone to get together. That seemed like a great place. We're there a lot anyways. It's such a great place. She's has a nice little bar up there. It helps people. Well, it's not even a little bar. It's actually pretty big. There's a place on the side where people play music. There's a place on the other side where people play pool. There's pinball machines. There's a neat little fireplace in there. I think it's just like a little digital fireplace, but it's still really cool looking. Go to one of those jams, those Third Thursday jams. I think there was a poster behind us in the whole episode for that, so be sure to check that out. Thank you very much, Gina. I really appreciate it. Thank you for letting us use part of your bar for the night. Be sure to check out Owen going to Berkeley. He's going to do that thing. It's Sunday, basically Sunday, isn't it? No, yeah, it's Sunday. That's when it is. So check that out, December 1st. It's Sunday. Benefit for Owen O'Brien to cover some expenses while he goes and does an audition at Berkeley. Yes, Berkeley, the actual real Berkeley. So check it out. That's going to be a fun time. Support one of those guys. I got to play a lot of shows with Owen when he first started playing. So very lucky in that aspect that I got to play as many shows with him as I did. So good luck there, Owen. If Berkeley knows what's good for him, So make sure you check out Fort Dodge Fine Arts FDT podcast. The episodes can be found on the podcast if you listen to the podcast, but they're also on our YouTube channel as well. They're uploaded over on the Fort Dodge Fine Arts channel, but I put a little link to them on the Audible Farm channel as well. So you can watch it in either spot. All the views go to Fort Dodge Fine Arts Association, so that's pretty awesome for them. Their YouTube channel is growing, so make sure you give them a subscribe, but make sure you give us one too as well. I noticed that we've got quite a few new subscribers, maybe like 30 new subscribers in the last few months on YouTube, so check that out. If you're not watching the video versions of this, I don't know, you're missing out. I get it though. I usually just listen to podcasts. I don't do a whole lot of watching them either, so if you want to watch the episodes, you can watch them a day early on Patreon, and that'll cost you $1 a month. That's a quarter. So if you really want to watch everything a day early, you can spend a quarter basically on each episode, and that's like $1 a month. So over on Patreon, that's fired up again. The shop, shop.audiblefarm.com. I think that takes you there still. You should check it out. Otherwise, there's a link down below to the shop as well. So that is up and running, but there's just stickers on there right now. I do still have some shirts and stuff left. I just haven't gotten around to inventorying them and putting them on the shop again. So it's been pretty busy. I've been pretty busy doing a lot of stuff, and I want to say thank you to everyone that's been able to join me on the podcast thus far, and I want to say thank you guys for listening, and I want to say thank you to all of my potential guests for being patient. It's not always easy to have the cleanest correspondence with everyone because, sometimes when I'm on social media all day for work and then I get off work and I do more social media, it's kind of wears on a guy. So thank you guys for understanding, and happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Enjoy the turkey. audiblefarm.com. Peace.